Hi gang, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Ed Draws, and in this episode I'll be doing the 2-color blacklight challenge. So I took orange blacklight and a yellowish green glow-in-the-dark blacklight color, and those were the two that I chose. And I'm on just regular paper here. I'm brushing in this kind of perspective. It's supposed to be kind of like land, rockish, maybe a path. So this is ostensibly an abstract, but it has some detailed qualities to it that give it this kind of landscape, illustrative kind of feel to it. But it's definitely abstract, and I think the black light brightness and the darkness of the paper give it this dreamscape kind of feel. So I'm using the greenish color for the plants, and I'm using the orange for the ground and tree-like shapes, and I'm just trying to give indications of natural textures along a particular perspective that moves away from the viewer going to the left. And I have a glass stylus here that's giving me these really nice grass shapes, and it holds on to that. I had to make an ink-like consistency for this acrylic paint, so it was kind of challenging. I dipped a zillion times, and I had to be careful to make sure that it didn't run off of the stylus and fall onto the paper in an unintentional spot. I wanted to give Peter Draws, this is a YouTube channel, I wanted to give him credit for inspiring this challenge because he used a glass pen and some black light to do some amazing doodles. So I'll try to link him in the description. Go check that out because it's really amazing. There's nothing like this. But you know, I'm having fun with this. I'm really enjoying what I'm able to do. And I practiced maybe 6 or 7 different pieces before I was able to come up with something that I really enjoyed. And that's this piece here now. In the daylight, it looks like garbage, honestly. There's nothing about it that's really appealing. But you click on a black light and it just comes to life. And I love that about black light and that transition from visible, like white daylight to black light. Sometimes you can hide things in the black light color and just make it explode. You have 2 pictures in one. This isn't the case. It is one picture, and it's intended to be viewed under black light only. So I would like to do some pieces where there is a visible light paint picture that looks cool, and then when you turn the black light on, it takes it up to a whole new level and maybe gives you some other impression. So that might be in a future video, but for this one, it was challenging enough just using 2 colors and using this glass stylus where I had to dip a zillion times. Plus the shape of it gives, I have very limited shapes that I can create with it easily. I could do a lot of other things with it, but not with the acrylic. I have to use ink. It has to be a very particular consistency. And I was having a hard time with this acrylic anyway, because it has a lot of powder in it that makes it glow. So that affects kind of how it wants to move around. It's such a strange creature to deal with. That's half of the learning curve for me, was just trying to get this pen, the stylus, to work with the color and figure out what shapes I'm able to make and how I'm able to use those in whatever I was trying to draw. But I think in the end it came out okay. I'm about halfway through this. I was really starting to love it, and by the end I think I did really well. Do you have a strange, funny, or weird story involving blacklight? Like maybe how you felt about it the first time you saw it, or you didn't know what was going on? Leave it in a comment below. I'd love to hear that. And I can tell you about my first time with blacklight involving a haunted house that the fire department had created to raise money to tear these houses down. And the room that had the blacklight in it was painted black inside, so you really couldn't see how big the room was. That was really creepy. And they had some rubber rats on strings, and you couldn't see the strings because it was kind of dark, weird dark. And then the rats were like glowing orange, which was completely unnatural. And they had a big cauldron with some dry ice in it, and it was bubbling, and it was just all weird. And so many things I'd never seen before, like something was boiling, but it wasn't hot. And My shirt was glowing, but there were no lights, really. The lights weren't bright. It was a dark room, but things were glowing, and it was so weird and disorienting and creepy that it just like haunted my dreams for weeks afterwards. But it did set me on a journey trying to figure out what black light was, what dry ice was, and all the science behind some of the amusements that they had at this haunted house. So I really did appreciate that, even though I was traumatically stressed by the event. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this artwork, and let me know what you think in a comment below. Hit the like if you like this, and hit subscribe, the bell, all that business. And of course, until next time, you guys, take care.